Hi folks, back again. Bathrobe Chronicles number 61. Well, I'm on a roll here with the old chiropractors. I've got a bunch of papers here. Going to have to refer to these. I mentioned the other day that, excuse me, that the only thing that's changed since 1895 when D.D. Palmer dreamed up this chiropractic stuff is they've added more and more bogus so-called treatments, as they call them anyway. But here's a great one. Now this guy, I was actually going to put his name on here, but I figured, what the heck. Anyway, it's a fellow who's in Oregon. And he's one of these AK folks, you know, the applied kinesiology that I talked about a few segments ago. So those kind of folks, they talk about this triangle. And for instance, the human body can be compared to a triangle. Each side of the triangle directly influences the other two sides. We are healthy when our structural, biochemical, and emotional aspects are harmoniously balanced. Folks, when you hear the word balanced, run. Or centered, you know what I mean? Watch out. And then it says that for more than 100 years, chiropractors have corrected subluxations of the spine. Blah, 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 blah. Okay. Now, it's human nature to have an emotional response to significant events in our lives and then return to our normal state of being. However, listen carefully now. Well, don't listen carefully. Sometimes, however, our bodies hold onto a response and lock it in our sympathetic nervous system as a, here's what we're getting to here, as a neuro-emotional complex known as NEC. I don't know if it's an acronym of NEC or if it's a abbreviation of NEC. I think I'm gonna use NEC because that sounds goofier. And then it says, eventually negative emotions, conscious or unconscious, may manifest as a spinal subluxation. Listen carefully. I've got to go over this again. And we're talking about an emotional problem. And it may manifest as a spinal subluxation. Remember that stuff that really doesn't even exist that they always talk about. And a specific imbalance, there we go again, in a muscle or acupuncture meridian. The net result is ill health. Now this guy has taken all these like bogus things and just sort of crammed them all into one sentence. You notice we're talking about an acupuncture meridian. For those of you who don't know, when you go to an acupuncturist, he's using the same BS that the energy healers and everyone else uses. They claim you have the meridians, most say 12, and that there's this universal life energy flowing through them, of course, which never has been seen, measured. It appears nowhere in any kind of medical journals or anything else, and come on folks, it doesn't exist. But anyway, and what the acupuncturist does is he like puts his little needles in certain places to unblock the energy and that doesn't exist and the meridians that don't exist. So this guy, man, he's this next stuff, they're putting all this stuff, like all of these bogus words in like one sentence. Imbalance, acupuncture meridian. I mean, this is absolutely terrific. Now, as an example, say a young boy was forced against his will to get an injection in a doctor's office. This adult may now feel tense at any doctor's office and may not have the slightest idea why. Spinal subluxations associated with this NEC, NEC, may result in increased pain and dysfunction. I don't even, do you believe I'm even reading this, that someone has written this stuff? Anyway, I'm just reading it. Let me see here. Oh, this is good. This is terrific. I'm almost running, well, I'm getting short on time here. Excuse me, I need another cigarette on this one. Now, I'm going to stop. There's a whole bunch of these whack job words all over the place here, but I'm going to come down to here. And we feel different emotions in different parts of our body in different ways. The ancient acupuncturists correlated the different emotions to different organ meridians in our body. Are you listening? Different organ meridians? This is really good to know. For example, fear is in the kidney, anger to the liver, grief to the lungs, and so forth and so on. And there's someone out there who's going to see this dude and paying him money. Can't believe it. Now, basically what this guy's saying is that because of this emotional stuff, you get these subluxations. Now, how in the hell, by having some kind of emotional problem, can you get one of these subluxations? The subluxations are described as a twisting in the spine and a pinching of a nerve or something. Now, how in the hell can an emotional problem, or some little boy who went and got a shot at a doctor's office, I mean, was he going to haul this thing around with him, you know, for 30 years or something? How in the world can you get number one, there is no such thing, most people would say, as a subluxation anyway. And how in the world could an emotional problem cause that? It's beyond me. I don't understand that. But anyway, we're going to go to part 2.